Hello, welcome back. Last time I did image test pattern 3. It took me a bit, but I got it done. So I have this program here. I think I did this on the same day. The optimization bug bit me, and I wanted to see if I could squeeze a few more cycles out of this. And I did. And again, it's been a few days, so let's discover together what I've done. So I got it down from 2101 cycles to 1542, so I cut it down by 2/3. And I think I can more or less prove that this is basically as optimal as you can possibly get it with my with the overall architecture I'm using for this. So the beginning of this optimization was born out of a realization that I was only dealing with even numbers here, and optimizing the inner loop, the one that's like going along and drawing each pixel, would be the most profitable thing to do. So I thought, if you're only drawing even numbers, and your inner loop needs to be optimized, what if you subtract 2 and do 2 moves at the same time? So instead of moving 3 down, subtracting 1, and then checking, it moves 3 down and subtracts, and moves 3 down again, then subtracts and checks. So it's half as many checks. So that gets to be like, take only 2/3 of the time or so. So that was the first optimization I did. So that optimizes the innermost loop, the horizontal one. Also, I had some like weird unnecessary instructions here. Just like vestiges of old ways of doing things in this program led to, I think, not all of these values being used. This node was completely unnecessary. I was like repeating a value from here, then just discarding it. I move right into ACK here. No idea what I was doing with this because I never even use this register. This is just like a discard of this value that's being repeated for no reason. Anyway, so I just moved that data into this node, get rid of the extra instruction. Yeah, so I have fewer nodes, fewer instruction counts, and fewer cycles in this one. Yeah, anyway, so it does a very little bit of preparation. Then the tightest possible inner loop. I had to do some stuff to get the cycles down in this one. I forget what all that was, but, you know. But yeah, the main thing was just sub 2 and move 2 at once. And I think I got away with doing something similar here. Yeah, there's another sub 2. So right, that's all cool. I realized one fairly significant change that I made was instead of having this node store its extra data over here, then ask for it back, I just used the back buffer of this, and I found a way for that to, yeah, getting all the timing right with this was real interesting. So like, let's step through this a little bit. So again, going on the principle that inner loop is the place that's most profitable to optimize, I wanted there to never ever be a wait for a move from here to go down. I wanted everybody who needs to tell you anything about what you're doing to be done with their work as quick as possible. Now, I couldn't go beyond, like, assuming I had more space for pasting more instructions here. I don't have, not all of these values are like divisible by 4 or anything, but they all are all divisible by 2, which is why I can get rid of this double move and then the sub 2 and then the check. Because they're all even numbers. Yeah, okay, so this is not listening to anybody, it's just doing its own little thing. I got kind of good at this. I'm not currently good at it. Like, I was able to catch this at the perfect time. Okay, that's close enough. So you do that inner loop. All right, then once it starts drawing columns, you go to phase 2. All right, so you were waiting for a left. This is not a wait, this is just the number moving from the I/O port over there. So you take the left value, move it right, take what's in your accumulator and move it right. So yeah, the important thing is that this never waits for this. You're adding 1. I forget all the mechanics of this, but anyway, so what happens here is this does its work just in time. You're doing some stuff that doesn't need to involve this. So now you have a good timing for like talking to this node, whatever the heck you do with it. I've already forgotten, but I just wanted to emphasize the communication here. So you're already ready for this. You're doing no, you're not. You're waiting on you to do something. Wait a minute, you're not ready yet. No, you were. You had a value. Wait, how? Hang on, so the 0, yeah, a 0 is already being pushed over here. You're doing your swap stuff and dealing with your back buffer while all this happens. I/O takes like 2 cycles apparently, because it has to do the instruction, then actually move it to the I/O port. That's like a hidden internal instruction or something. There's a term for this. I might have known it once, like in real CPUs, when not all machine instructions take the same length of time. I forget how, I don't have the vocabulary to talk about that, but I know it's a thing in real CPUs. I wonder how accurate these concepts are to actual assembly language. I looked at some real assembly language and felt like I had a much better grasp on what was going on now that I've played this. But you know, every CPU's assembler is just a completely different language, basically. So I get the concepts here, but I couldn't program another real CPU based on this knowledge right now. Anyway, okay, so apparently that's the amount of picking apart of this program that I want to do. Anyway, I went and looked on the internet, which you should never do, by the way, and found out that somebody, who I want to say is a liar, but probably is not, has solved this puzzle in, what was it, 883 cycles, I think? So, like, basically twice as fast as this. I'm assuming that that solution involved... It didn't... That record didn't come with a solution. I'm assuming what that would involve is, like, draw one thing here. Then when you... don't go vertically, basically, is what I'm saying. You know, you could do the horizontal stripes like I'm doing and probably get away with it. But then once you do the vertical, you do draw this. Move here, draw the... Well, no, you really want to do... So for every other row, you would want to draw the entire row so you don't have to reposition the cursor. Yeah, for all odd-numbered rows, go all the way across, including drawing black pixels. Just set up your pattern to be smart about that. Then for even-numbered rows, move here, draw this, move here, draw this. Because doing the columns is significantly slower than doing the rows, because every single move can move a pixel. And I have to check every 2 because of this, but you know, you can move. It's just one I/O operation to go 1 pixel forward, but to go 1 pixel down, you need like 4 at least. So it's much slower to do columns. Anyway, so I'm assuming that would be the architectural change necessary to get down to like triple-digit cycle counts, stuff like that. Anyway, let's go to image test pattern 4. So this one goes dark to light, repeating, then light to dark, starting at a weird part of the cycle. So remind me. Okay, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. 1, 0, 3, 2, 1, 0, 3, 2, 1, 0, 3, 2, 1, 0, 3, 2. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 0, 3, 2. Okay. So that immediately makes me think that I'll probably want something like... no. This sounds easier than doing like the arithmetic and modulo and stuff. I might not be able to get away with it, but like just putting the raw data in there and having it loop this way. Now the question is, no, it doesn't loop cleanly. Well, that's okay. This is 30 wide. You'd need to go 32 to get to a multiple of 4. So you can just discard 2 of these values once you reach the end of a row, and then this will be primed and ready for the next row. So I'd like, for each row, put this in a mode where it listens to left, then after that row put it in a mode where it listens to right, then move those down, also include all the preamble and postamble for the actually drawing the row and stuff. That sounds pretty sensible. Okay, so let's see. Just kind of working on impulse here. Let's see how far this goes. Let's, instead of that... Hey, you know what I can do? I can draw off the right side of this and it's fine. That's what I should do. I'll just waste the 2 draws that way instead of doing a special thing for them. Yeah, it won't care, probably. I assume it won't care. It shouldn't care. Okay, so just go 32. So this is like a real juicy spot for optimizers to focus on. Node optimizers would immediately see this. Yeah, so thinking as a node optimizer, I see this inefficiency. Thinking as a cycle optimizer, I see this inefficiency. And think of like better ways to go off that. But I'm doing neither of those things. I just want to solve the puzzle. So I'm going to do 32 times... This node will be responsible for the coordinates. And you know what? I'm always going to start at 0. So, oh, hey, wait. Can this be, like, utterly trivial? Well, this doesn't even need to loop, right? It's just move back down, add 1, and that's literally it. So move 0 down... Move up, down. Here, let me just make it clear that I'm initializing this to 32. Oh, I might be done in like 2 minutes. Move left down, sub 1. Jugs. Yeah, jugs loop. So then... something like that. My y coordinate didn't change. Why? Shouldn't it have? Oh, I didn't move a -1. That's my problem. Got it. That's all. Okay, I think I'm done. Well, that was trivial. Okay. Well, it's wrong. Probably a data issue. Wait, is it wrong? Yeah, okay. Okay, these alternate not just every... Okay, so I'm just repeating the first 2 rows. So first 2 are correct, but I need to offset by 2 every... Ooh, okay. All right. Well, my first impulse worked for the first 2 at least. So offset by 2, fascinating. Yeah, so basically actually U will resume from there. So all I need to do to fix that is this. Oh, well that makes that even easier and removes my little efficiency trap that I was thinking you'd have to work so hard to solve. Okay, well I think I did it. And I'm not even writing out the edge of this. Okay, this is going to be like the solution that literally everybody did their first time. It's obvious and trivial, I feel like. Okay. Yeah, that's where the largest spikes are. Okay. Well, I did what everybody else saw as obvious. There are ways to get the cycles down. Somebody's done a 3-node solution. You could probably... Could you do a 2-node solution for that? If you're clever enough. Maybe. I mean, look at all this space. You could at least cram, like, this number of instructions together into a single node. But, you know, with whatever extra control logic you'd need, you'd be getting awfully tight there. It'd be hard. Maybe impossible. But might not be. Okay, well, that was trivial. Spatial path viewer. That sounds terrifying. Start on upper left of the screen. Read angle. Angle? In degrees? Why? Read length from in. Draw a line segment with specified angle and length. Okay, well, I know the angles are always going to be one of 4 values. So 0, 90, 180, and 270. Like, that just means I need to divide by 90 myself. And by divide by 90, I mean, yeah, divide by 90. Oh, hey, there's one of these. I don't know where Randy went, but I think hang on, was there one of these in the previous one that I totally ignored? There was. Whoops. A portal meaning what? Like a quantum gate? M. That's the only explanation that even starts to make sense. C. Right, Mosley, Carroll. It took me a moment to remember the names. These TIS-100 machines must be entangled, I think. Somehow they came into our world from a different one. How? Through the gate Randy was talking about. Randy, you there? This might not be as bad as I thought it was from the name. I don't know where Randy went, but I think I got it. By using TIS-100s as a tool for observation, some other world was collapsing the wave functions of quantum superpositions and entangling enough matter to open gates to parallel worlds. I don't think that's quite how quantum teleportation works. Not that I'm an expert. I skipped a few steps there, but you follow, yes? Not really. Funnily enough, Mosley, you are in Copenhagen. Huh? Never mind, don't worry about it. What year was Carol from? Hang on, do I know which was in which year? Let's attempt to follow this story. Okay, so... okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So the one from 1998 is the one who is the quantum mechanics expert. Which means that's Carol? Yeah, so Carol is from 1998. Mosley's from Copenhagen. One's from a time, one's from a place. Don't worry about it. I get it. It's close enough. I don't need to disentangle this. Mosley, you're in Copenhagen. Right. Okay. So, start at upper left. Read angle. Read length. Draw line segment. Okay. Okay. I'm sure I can do this. I doubt I can do this in 12 minutes. I'm not sure that I can't, though. Okay, so let's start here. It's good to start at the end. Like, what image drawing routines do I... That's just how I think about these. I think about this in terms of, like, express a graphics function that I will use the other nodes to call, and then base my entire solution on that. Like, that's how I came by the idea of... yeah, so there's a lot of ways to think about this. So I thought of it as rows and then columns. You could also think of it as like stippled rows, which would be the efficient way where you draw some black pixels. You could also think of it as drawing colored rectangles, shrinking by 1 in each dimension, well, 2 in each dimension every time. So draw white, black, white, black, white, black. That's like the simple to think about but not fast way to do it. Anyway, so right, the drawing function that I need from this is probably just like, oh, drawing backwards going to be actually, so yeah, there really are just 4 modes to this. Well, no, not really. Hang on. Okay, so the simplest thing to do here would be a function that's just plot pixel at location. That's probably what I should really do. Just listen to adjacent nodes for a command draw a pixel at this location, rather than trying to optimize it by using rows. Am I okay with my first solution being that non-optimal? Probably. Probably. So if I did that, that would mean adjacent nodes would have the responsibility of controlling how the x and y values increase or decrease. Tell me about... This is not really a complete... This doesn't specify how to interpret the angle, so I need to read the data for a moment and figure out what that means. So it's angle, then length. So 0 goes to the right for 8 pixels. 5 pixels of 270. So is it like the standard... so like standard pi starts here and rotates around this way. Like if in radians, you know, this is half pi, this is 1.5 pi, this is 2 pi, or 0. Or is it relative to the last angle is what I'm wondering. So 270. Then 0, yeah, if it were relative to the last angle, 0 would continue down. So no, it's just 0 is this way, 270 is this way, so 180 will be this way, and then 90 will be this way. Let me just keep reading this and verify that I'm seeing what I think I am. So 11, 0, so 0 for 11, 270 for 13, 180 for 10, 90 for 11, yeah, okay. So really just map those numbers to a direction each. Okay. So, your job is to put the length somewhere and interpret... Okay, so somebody has to interpret the angle value and do exactly what with it? Kick off a control flow or like... Okay. So here's my thought. Yeah, I know a way to do this that'll make it nice and simple to think about. It's gonna be real inefficient. It's fine. So angle. You're gonna be the angle interpreter, okay? You're going to get the length. All right, so angle interpreter. Let's just assume you'll hold on to the length. All right. Right. That's going to get confusing, but it's valid. Right, up, left, down. So those are in order. Well, this will just be down then. Okay, I've used a lot of instructions here. Not imagining a particularly better way to interpret the angle here, but this will be fine. Will it? Okay, so I think so. All right, so you are down. I'm going to encode 2 numbers into 1 here. Okay, so I'm going to do a what? So let me describe what I'm doing first. So I'm going to interpret this into two values that I'll stick somewhere. One value will be the number added to x, another value will be the number added to y. So in the case of left, that'll be -1, 0. In the case of down, that'll be 0, 1. In the case of right, that'll be 1, 0. In the case of up, that'll be 0, -1. Then like those will be stored in sticky registers or something, and just continually added to the x value that's sent down here, x and y values that get sent down there. So I'll need to store both of those, that's fine. You'll plot a single pixel and then terminate and then ask for another command. You will be the control flow to say, okay, so yeah, basically move something send instruction offset or signal, send signal right, send signal to, something like that. Yeah. So you'll have a JRO in you that's listening to how many times you want to do that. Or I could put it down here if this doesn't fit. Like then this could control this, something, something. Anyway, but I have to get... I'm noticing how low you are in instruction space. Let's actually do this. There'll be some sort of move here. For example... all of these will have this. Some people use indentation in their code, I noticed. It had never occurred to me until I read some other people's programs. I don't know. I don't think of, since control flow only happens with go-tos, I don't think of this hierarchically. It's all very sequential to me. So I would use indentation if there were a way that made sense to me, but there isn't. Anyway, so every one of these is going to have to do that. So I have 2 instructions left. Yeah, so I can't move 2 numbers in every single one of these. So what I want to do is pack 2 numbers into 1. So the way I'm going to do that is, I mean, basically binary. So I'll do some like operations to unpack each number. I might want to move this right to let it unpack. Might not be necessary. Let's just do it down. I'll move it elsewhere if I need to. Okay, so what I'm encoding for down is 0, 1. I'm going to represent that as 2. What I'm encoding for right is 1, 0. That's represented as 1. For up, that's 1, -1. Hang on, I'm thinking of this wrong. No, I want 3 for down. Yeah, so basically, well, this will make sense in a moment. So up is 0, -1, which means 2. Left is -1, 0, which is 0. Okay. How's that going to work exactly? Like, I had something in my mind, like, if it's... Okay, but now I have a better idea. Never mind. Is this a good idea at all? I don't know. I have some numbers. These are unique. You'll interpret them somehow. So I am really feeling like I want my interpreter elsewhere. You're going to be full of control logic. Just going to go ahead and like dogleg this out here right now. Not going for node efficiency. I just want to be sure I have enough space to like put down my thoughts. So I'm going for thought efficiency. All right. So you get a number, then you need to interpret it into two numbers. Yeah, so you will expand this one number into two numbers. That's your job. Instead of being all smart about how I've packed these up, I could just like do 4 comparisons and send different values probably. If I'm spreading this out across nodes, that'll be easiest, I imagine. Yeah, because I can like get away without these instructions. Let's see if that would fit, first of all. Down's always the last one, so it goes first. Wait, no, this is just doing the exact same thing, just with, no, never mind, this is stupid. I was literally doing the same thing here as I was there, just with 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 0, 2, you know, 0, 1, 2, 3 instead of 0, 90, 180, 270. Okay, so instead of that, no, I do actually need to unpack these numbers. Okay, so I was thinking something like 0 and 1. So like the lowest, the least significant bit indicates whether whether x value is to be -1 or 1. Then the second least significant bit indicates whether y value needs to be -1 or 1. So I just need to do like some math operations to get that to make sense. However, if that was what I was doing, then this is wrong, isn't it? 3 especially seems wrong. I think that should be 4. However, since this is not this doesn't have any bit shifts or anything in it. Yeah, okay, so that should be 4. Okay, so that makes more sense. But I'm not sure it will work well with this instruction set. So let's look at what I can do here. Yeah, no, I can't mask out a bit. So like encoding 2 types of information here is kind of tough, isn't it? Could I do like... Okay, so I could do negative, positive, 0. That's 3 values, but I need 4 different ones. And then I need to expand those to 2 different values that are in one direction or another. I mean, this is just like one of those weird little things that has a really simple solution, but it's not obvious if I'm staring at it. So I just need to take a moment, chew this in my mind, get clear on what I'm trying to say here, and then the solution will become obvious. So let me sit quietly for a second. All right, so I think I can just make this more understandable by doing something more like, let's use decimal digits. So here's what I'm going to do. I need some space, and this one's going to be... Okay, but that's fine. Right is fine. UR1, left is just -1. So this is just the x value here. But using decimal digits, down can be 10, and up can be -10. All right. So what that's going to mean... This is bothering me for no good reason. I just had to have that aligned. I don't indent, but I do align. Okay, so then the operation here should become clear. Well, sure, you don't even have anything yet. So if you're less than 0, something is negative and something is 0. I always know that one of these is 0. This doesn't have to generalize to being able to do like 1, -1 or something. There are no diagonal lines specified in this sort of spec. So if it is positive, then I'll subten. If you're equal to 0, then you're going to be down. Am I not just ending up with the same thing here? Feels kind of like I am. Like, yeah, just the whole like unpacking these numbers into, okay, you know what? There are different ways to do this. Man, just the the instruction limit. Like, I can see as soon as I start going down a road like this, I'm going to bump into the instruction limit because I see how close this was. That's why I packed the numbers. But like less than 15 instructions, unpacking them seems hard and annoying. Maybe I can share the work between these two. Like, one will interpret positives, one will interpret negatives, or something. I don't know. Okay, so if you are... No, I mean, I'm still just boiling this down to four labels. I can't do this. No, this needs to be a mathematical operation that will result in 2 individual values. Okay. So yeah, sure. If you're already negative, let's do it this way. Well, but I can't... Ah! Why is this so hard to think about? So here. Let me stop again. Phrase what I want to say here. Then the code to express what I want phrased will become clear. I just need to phrase it. So much of the challenge of this game is just coming up with a way to say what I want to do. If I can do that, then it means I'm thinking about it clearly. So I'm rubber ducking, basically. All right. So I need a rubber duck. I'll be right back. Okay. So I came up with a better plan. Also, I realized what I was actually doing there was inverse rubber ducking. I was stopping talking to start thinking more clearly. For non-programmers, rubber duck debugging is a term for talking to an object so that you phrase the problem that you're having, so that you, by putting it into words, you clarify your own thinking about it and therefore find a solution to the problem. So you talk through it even if nobody's listening, and that helps you solve it. Basically what I do all the time when I'm LPing a puzzle game. And yeah, I was doing the inverse. I was stopping there. Anyway, so what I realized I actually want to do here is I want to encode x values as positive numbers and y values as negative ones. So this will actually make sense. So when I want to go up, that's my -1. Okay, so that's -3 now. Down is -1. Okay, so JLZ Y. So if it's not Y, then I sub 2. By subbing 2, I get the x value. If it is Y, then I add 2, and therefore I get the y value. So what I do is I'm going to move x first, and then move 0 for that. All right, so then I move 0 down, move down. Okay. There we go. I've decoded my encoding here. I've come up with an encoding that I can decode with fewer instructions than this took. There we go. All right. And then, so those are my 2 directions, and I might need to hang on to them for a bit. So you're going to be the sticky register that hangs on to those and reports them over here as necessary. It looks like I'm still missing a whole lot of code, but I think I'm actually very close to the end here. Yeah, okay. So you're going to JRow left. So you're going to move 1 to the right. I will assume that all lengths are greater than 0. That should be a safe assumption. I don't like seeing that big red thing. So I'm just gonna do that. This number will change when I know what my instruction offsets are. Okay, so what you do is, maybe I should know how you work first. Well, it's pretty simple. That's all you do. You draw a pixel, and you ask U for the coordinates. So, assuming I am proceeding with drawing a thing, obviously there's more to it than that. Right, so what I have to do is... Yeah, this is all fine. So my weighting is going to be... Let's see here. Okay, so you need a J row. So 1 is going to be read. So your back buffer is X, your front buffer is Y. Let's just do it this way. Sure. Okay. So 1 to the right, read. Sure. So yeah, you store the values and allow them to be retrieved whenever you want. This is going to be so slow. This is going to be like horrifically inefficient. I'm like anti-optimizing the cycles at this point almost. It's fine though. As long as it works, I'll be happy. So right, you do that, J row. All right, so then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to the right, that's done. Great. You're already finished. You need to move a different thing to the right, which will be -4. You know what? You have plenty of instruction space, so I'm going to do this so I can label it. There we go. And that's it. Then you go back to the J row and, oh, am I done? Okay. This is wrong, and it also deadlocks. What did I do? Okay, so first of all, why was my first coordinate wrong? Oh, lots of reasons. So many reasons. I'm missing like an entire section of logic here. I'm just taking the 2 coordinates and sticking them in that many times. No, I didn't... I'm not doing the right thing with these values at all. Okay, so somebody needs to hold some state. The state of the position of the pen. It can be you. That's fine. Can it? Does it fit? Maybe. You have more room, and you're just as good, so that's fine. Okay, that sounds sensible, right? So yeah, your pen's position is initialized to 0, 0. You're going to add the X value, which will come in first, then add the Y value, which will come in first, and as you add them, you send that down immediately. Although I guess you don't, you want to draw before you add. Okay, sure. So draw before you add. Sensible enough. Sure. So front buffer is X, back buffer is Y. I still have that deadlock, but this should at least put the... It did the first few. You guys are both waiting on a J row. I want a label here. Oh no, it won't fit. All right, I'll drop the vowel. So why did I deadlock? So you get the 0, that's the angle. That goes here. You get the 8, that's the length, that goes here. Angle is indeed right, that's what 0 is. You're telling this to start doing that. I want to read, but you're waiting for this first. Whoa. Oh, here's my problem. Okay, well that won't fit anymore. You know what? I can fit it. I have so much room. There we go. Okay, that looks much better. That's slightly wrong. You're going one too many. It's working, but it's going one too many. Why would that be? Oh, this is super weird. Is that one too many? Yeah, that's one too many. Really? Why would you go one too many? That's super weird. No, seriously, what? I mean, I can do this, I guess. But I want to understand, because I don't. Like, yeah, I could hack fix it, like make it just a small tweak, but why? So you get an 8. So the 8 goes over there. So that's your first one. You get a sub 1, yes. You plot a pixel. Great. This is horrifically slow. Again, this is anti-optimized. Okay. Wait, you've already requested 2 plots. Did I miss one? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I mean, these numbers seem to add up for what I'm seeing there. Zero. So no jugs. You'll finish your current plot, and yes, get to this column where you're supposed to stop. So you're done. You're plotting your last one, and that's fine. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, that is the correct column. You're still doing stuff. You're sending another value, aren't you? No, you're in the middle of sending values. You're doing it correctly. You're going to wait for this. You go to wait. You want a J-row left. Yeah? So that jumped to there. You're waiting to know what to do next. Oh, stale values. Stale values. This hasn't finished its process by the time you ask for another one. That's what's happening. Gotcha. Okay, so that means I need to know when this has completed. Okay, well, gonna do this. No, I'm not going to do that. Ooh. Oh, that's fascinating. But no, hold on. Why would I have stale values? Shouldn't you go back to waiting? -1, -2, -3, -4. You're going to wait for this to give you a new one. No, my values should not be stale. They absolutely should not. Right? Move up ACK. Move 0 down. You're already there. Wait, did you already do the new... You did 2 real quick, so you put that in the I/O port. You've already processed it. But then shouldn't, instead of stale values, like you be getting a new one too quickly? No, you're all ready to report your second thingy, and that's fine. It should be. Zero, 1. Yeah, so you want to move down. What? I don't understand. Okay, so... Okay, so when you're sitting in wait, you have 1, 0. Yeah, 1, 0. It's hard to tell like what's timed with what here because these are all, they all have their own individual delays. I was right that I couldn't do this in 12 minutes. Like, I could be done by now if I was okay with hacking it, but I want to understand. I have to understand. It's just not right to add to subtract 1 from this before I enter this loop and just call it good enough. No. I need to know why this is going wrong. I must know the root cause. Am I currently doing an action that will get me that information? I think so. Like, you're gonna get here eventually. Okay, let's do this. How many times do you write your value to the left before you land back here? Okay, so you read new stuff from there. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could use breakpoints for this. It's fine though. 6, 7, 8. This should be the last one. You still have 1 in you. Like, I just have a fence post problem here somehow. And I don't understand it. So, no, this is doing its thing the right number of times. I already verified that. This is a jugs. It stops as soon as it hits 0. Okay, so this was number 8, right? Yeah, and you're going to done. So now the J row will move you up here. You're going to get fresh values, right? 8, 0. Move -1 down. Oh. Oh ho ho. Oh, that's fascinating. You just go ahead and do your thing, assuming you're continuing. But that's correct. Your current pen position is 8, 0. Yeah, so you go to 8, then you want to add up. You're reading a new 1. So it's 0, 1, yes. Move 1 right, or the read, yes. 0. So you have an X offset of 0. X position going down is 8. Yeah, this is in the correct spot. So you add nothing to that. You swap. Oh, but you don't add before drawing. Okay, so here's my fence post problem. This draws before asking what to do. So it's like I need to plot an initial pixel. No, I need to stop it one short. Do I? What about the final pixel? Oh, this is fascinating. Okay, so I understand now. Kind of. I haven't really explained in words, though. Do I understand? It's because of the way this works. It's this node's fault that it goes one too many. Because it just goes ahead and does a thing. Before it... no, but why would it go too far to the right? No. No. 7, 8, 1, 8, 1, right? So yeah, this is moving 8, 0 down. Is that actually a problem? It's just plotting this pixel again, isn't it? But it didn't. It plotted a new one. So hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why do you do 9? Like, this is supposed to be the first pixel down. It's because what it writes out lags 1 behind what it adds. But the problem is, if I change that, then it won't plot the first pixel. It'll already add 1. Start at upper left of screen. Read angle, read length, draw line segment with specified angle and length. I'm trying to come up with the simplest fix. I mean, let's try this hack. It will look right. My worry is that this will not plot the final pixel, because it's stopping one short of the actual end. So I might need to actually work around that. Like, it looks like it's drawing the right thing, but I think this is going to ultimately be wrong. Let's see what it thinks. And if the final pixel... Okay, so this is the final pixel here, I think. So we'll see if it gets this far or stops there. I think it'll stop there. I'm correct. Okay. So you need to, like... you need to do an iteration of this where you don't add anything? But you don't know anything about what's going on up here. Or is there another way around this? There's another way. I think. I don't like any of my solutions here. Hey, I got one. Check it out. I know what to do. So, since I'm having the whole problem where, like, it'll either skip the first pixel or the last pixel of the span that it's drawing, which is in fact correct in a way, in that I don't want to, plot each corner twice. I can, but I don't really want to. And it would add complexity and decrease efficiency. So why don't I do this? There's just one end cap exception, and it's the very first one. I'm going to make this even slower. There we go. So you plot a pixel and then you enter your loop. You're still wrong. What? You're doubled again. Oh, because I got rid of the sub one. Great. Do this. Do this fast. Zoom. It's still wrong. It still didn't plot the last one. Because I changed that to sub one, of course. Wait, but... Oh, right, no. So I do this, and then I reverse these. So I add before I move the thing. Yes, exactly. So you add first, then draw. You just, the very first pixel is the exception. Zoom, 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 zoom. There we go. Good enough. All right. I'm close to some spikes. I'm a little under the... Okay, so a lot of people did this, but I somehow did the not too hard to think about, but very slow solution. Slightly less very slow than the average did, I guess. So, okay, great. I'm not exactly proud of it. This is another one I might feel the temptation to optimize on my own. Instruction count's not great. Node count, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I did it, though. Okay. Like... Not proud of the solution. It's not as bad as that one that was made entirely of move commands, but this is not one of my better programs. Just because I said early on, throwing all optimization out, I just want something that I can talk about and like do. And I still had to... No, I mean, I explained this. So the one exceptional pixel is the first one. The rest of them skip the first pixel in the draw and just do that. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'll probably optimize it. All right, cool. Well, I'll do that on my own. Maybe I'll show you the results if it happens. It might not. Yeah, anyway, so character terminal next time. Another name that terrifies me, but that could mean a lot of things, I guess. All right, I'll see you then.